welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Norm.
I'm Adam.
I'm Simone.
Hi, Simone.
2.0.
Now that you've had your upgrade,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in some way it was a downgrade. I feel a little bit shittier than I was before, but still I have titanium plates and mesh and screws. And I mean, I have emergency hardware in case I'm in a situation where I really need some screws. I can just plop them out of my head.
wow,
That's really gory. I haven't thought about that before.
that is really cool.
Different kind of kit.
Yeah.
Well, it's so good to see you. It's
It was
been
really
a
great to see
minute.
you.
Yeah, it's good to be on the podcast. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was on.
It's months.
Months. It
It's
definitely has
months.
been months since
Yeah.
before Adam started production
Yeah.
on Junior.
Right, that's 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
like 10 years ago. Yeah.
Well,
Dog
let's catch
years.
up.
Yeah.
And what a place to do it because we are at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, there's
I-
so many people.
You haven't been here before.
I have.
Oh, you
I was
have.
there
That's right.
2
Of
years
course you
ago.
have. Of course you have.
And
I'm
I
an
wore
idiot.
your astronaut Apollo
That's
suit.
right, I still have that
and
wonderful
it
picture.
has so much of my sweat in it. I feel like if you ever need like a DNA swab, it's just, yeah.
It's good to
Pull it
know.
out of there.
It
Yeah.
occurs to me now that we probably, it was a mad rush packing for this, but
Yeah.
that is something we could have packed because as we're recording this today is on the 20th, that's 49th anniversary
Of the moon
of the
landing.
moon landing.
I totally forgot what I was going to say. I actually had a point and I totally lost it. Sorry.
We were talking
That's
about
how
sweat,
Comic-Con
I was up until 1:30.
astronauts.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
No.
perfect because Comic-Con is an annual get-together with friends. Like, yes, there are 100 to 200,000 people out there beyond the scope of this hotel room exploring Comic-Con. But for us, yeah, we want to see some cool stuff, but for us, it's really seeing old friends.
Just saying we're only talking to people we already know.
But also, I threw a party here in the room the other night. Was it last night?
It was
Yeah,
last
Last
night.
night, right? Wow. Yeah.
Adam, are you okay? Do you need a glass of water?
I only got 4.5 hours of sleep and a nap somewhere in the middle. But again, like not only did I get to see all the people that I love here at Comic-Con, and they came in many different shifts and waves, but also they brought friends, and I got to introduce you and Diana last night to my friend astronaut Katie Coleman.
Yeah, she was. Oh, I don't know. I don't let myself get starstruck very often, except for when it comes to astronauts. I just have this. I just. You know, when you had that feeling when you're like, if you started a cult, I would join it in a second.
Totally.
Like, here's my application. I just made it up. Because they're just such. I don't know. They're just great people.
There's a grace and a quietude to
Yeah.
all the astronauts that I have met and am friends with that I find really remarkable.
Because they have every opportunity to not be humble, and they are all
They're the
very
most,
humble.
the most
yeah.
humble people.
Humble
Yeah.
by choice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they know their importance, their place in history.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing us forward more so than a lot of people.
So every time I get like a text or an email from Katie, I see a picture of her on the ISS with her hair all. There's that picture of
Yeah.
her in zero G with her hair all out playing the flute.
Oh.
And Chris Hadfield obviously did that amazing Bowie cover from the ISS. And he's a huge proponent and encourages all of his fellow astronauts to get together and play music as often as possible.
Not on the ISS, but
No,
like just,
on
just
Earth?
to
on
meet
the
up.
Earth.
And they're like,
Yeah.
Not just at conventions, to hang out.
No.
It's like a fraternity.
I think that that's exactly what it is. I think that I don't think that Chris is interested in becoming the greatest guitarist in the world. I think he's really interested in the personal exploration and the social aspect of music. I mean, I actually haven't spoken to him about it, so I'm speaking for him without knowing his stance on it. But given how much I know he values community and working with the people around him, it strikes me that he exhibits that value with the desire to play music with his friends.
But I feel like they must have, that was one of the things we talked to Katie about, just because they must share so many random issues, and like meeting, as an astronaut, meeting other astronauts must be like, oh my God, this thing that happened to me.
Right.
Yeah, in
The
the
shit
same
only
way
they
as like,
understand.
I have that with Diana, both having like channels on YouTube and being female science communicator, we're like, oh my God, this thing happened. And it's just such a good thing, and they must really have that as well to a crazy extent.
I'll bet.
They're like, if I have to explain how do you poop on the ISS one fucking more time, I'm gonna flip up. I'm gonna like punch a 12-year-old in the face.
So
You would never see them do that, though. And Adam, he doesn't want to be the greatest guitarist on Earth, off Earth.
Awful.
Yes,
exactly.
I think he set the high bar.
When you talk about the pooping, last year I was at Johnson Space Center. I was at both Kennedy and Johnson, but it was Johnson that I was hanging out with Kjell Lindgren at the Neutral Buoyancy Lab, and he took me into the shuttle mock-up and showed me just how tiny the living quarters are on the
space
shuttle.
shuttle,
It's
yeah.
terrifying. It's like smaller than an econovan.
Yeah.
And he's like, and here's the toilet, and you just get this curtain, and you have to use this video camera to aim the suction cup. You literally, and there's this pause, and he goes, yeah, you get to know yourself better than you ever wanted to.
That's a different type of out-of-body experience that not many people want.
I feel like we should make a new product that is like on Earth impersonation of the ISS toilet, where you have a camera.
You
and
have
it's
the
you.
opportunity to.
What did I
Mount
just
it on the
suggest?
bidet. Mount it on the bidet.
I take that back.
No, I don't
I
think you
take that
would.
back.
No,
I take it back.
Let that exist in fan fiction all around the world.
So,
hey, speaking of fan fiction, what is the thing? Have you seen some stuff here at Comic-Con that's blown your mind? How have the costumes and the people been?
Blow my mind. Too soon, Adam.
Sorry.
No, I haven't been walking around that much. I mean, I haven't been to the convention center
Okay.
yet, so I've just been, kind of on the streets. But no, I haven't. I mean, in all fairness, as you guys know, I'm not a huge movie buff
Right.
and like sci-fi. I'm not really. This is not my typical flavor of geek. I appreciate it so much when other people do it, but I'm not like, oh my god,
Yeah.
in that way. I mean, there's a lot of cute kids. And
That's,
you're like,
I love
way
the
to
kids
go.
in little superhero costumes.
Yeah, and the supportive parents. That's the best one. The supportive parents who build a costume that matches their kids, and they're just like, yeah.
I saw a Wonder Woman and a little girl Wonder Woman and a little boy Aquaman, and they weren't doing anything except like arguing in the street. But it was so like just like a family might do, but it was super cute. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, you have to go this way. I don't know. And it's like all little Wonder Womans.
Aquaman, you have great responsibilities.
Get on that sea dragon and get to the store.
we were talking about other cosplays we've seen. It's only Friday as we're recording this, but the things that have jumped out at me so far, Glow cosplay. Yes, have saw
There's
Liberty
been a
Bell.
lot of wrestling going on.
Yes, and a Zoya, the Destroyer from Glow.
Okay.
And those are the ones. Like,
Last year was it? What was the big costume? Last year was Wonder Woman was the big costume. The previous year was Rey.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
So have you noticed? Because I have done my cosplay walk, but I was staring through a sweat-soaked visor that was foggy, so I couldn't see much of anything. Has a single costume stood out somewhere?
No, I thought it would be Deadpool this year again because the new movie came out, and there's a lot of Deadpool presence in general. But there's nothing, and maybe it speaks of. I'm waiting for Saturday. Saturday is the crazy costume day,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be the crazy, most packed day on the floor, and I'll have to keep an eye out for trends. Yeah, I think it's a little more mellow this year, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like Comic-Con just being a little more mellow, people just enjoying themselves.
It's also more mellow for us. We haven't overscheduled this year.
Yeah.
We've had space. But normally, on every day, I'm going from about 7 a.m. till about 1 in the morning. And it's fun. Like, I can do that. But it's really nice that we're not doing that. That there's like a few hours here and there between these things.
And you did your costume walk already.
I did.
So let's talk a little about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can reveal. I mean, people have already seen.
I was Wiley Post, the
yes.
developer of the very first spacesuit, 1934. Wiley Post is totally worth looking up. He wore a white eye patch.
Oh, really?
In
Just for
1934.
style or because he...
No, he had lost his eye in some. I don't know
Yeah.
how he lost his eye,
Yeah.
but yeah, he like white eye patch dude.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm then
that's
curious
badass.
why, in his pressure suit, the viewport isn't shifted.
It's shifted. That's
Is
why.
it shifted?
Oh, it is?
shifted.
The view,
It's
no,
offset.
that's I love that you
Okay.
guessed that. Yes, the viewport is shifted to favor his good
Oh,
eye.
I did not
and
know
I
that.
missed that detail.
Whoa. Interesting. Okay.
I even considered ways to get that detail in, and it's like, nah, I'd have to do a full rebuild of the helmet.
It's a
to do
lateral
it.
movement.
Yeah.
It's not just rotating on
Yeah.
the
Did
axis.
did anyone know what the costume was?
No.
No.
But I was at the Prop Store of London booth looking very closely at a full-size Terminator they had. And, you know, like I'm in my helmet and I bump up against the glass and this guy goes, Adam? And I'm like, how did you guess? And he's like, Well, I saw you staring intently at the Terminator, and then I saw the detailing on your costume, and I made the connection.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a deep cut.
It's
It
a
is a
super
real
deep
deep
cut.
cut. And I
Yeah.
really, the thing that I hope that we get out of this is that more people now will be aware of that suit. And so when they go to the Smithsonian, they can see it and appreciate that being the
Oh,
very
it's
first.
at the Smithsonian?
It is at the
Suit.
Smithsonian,
Oh, wow.
and at the Smithsonian, it is in a seated position because the suit was built to fly a plane from, so it was built to only be seated.
Yeah.
And there are pictures of him walking out to the plane, and he's walking all hunched over because it wouldn't allow him to stand up. It was a B.F. He convinced B.F. Goodrich. Let's see, Wiley Post was a pilot in 1934. Most of the planes were made of wood, and he flew this wooden plane for a millionaire that he worked for, and surmised everyone knew you couldn't fly above a certain altitude, like 20,000 plus feet, because there's not enough oxygen, you'd suffocate. And he thought, well, what if I brought my own atmosphere? He thought wooden planes can't be pressurized because they're too weak, but what if I brought my own atmosphere? And he got B.F. Goodrich to make him this anthropomorphic rubber bladder that he encased in fabric material with stitching, what he called good God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the term. It's basically holding on to the bladder with a net so that it can only expand so much.
Oh.
And then he flew hundreds of miles at like 45,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
In this pressurized suit, looking out through this thing, and
With
he
one
could,
eye.
he could, yeah, out of one eye, and he could adjust the temperature because he had two air feeds into his helmet, one directly from the outside, so that was kind of cold, and then another that was wrapped around one of
The motors.
one of the parts of the engine, so
Yeah.
he could heat the air with a needle valve.
Wow.
Yeah, the guy was totally badass, and all this is 1934.
I didn't know that there was a bladder inside there. You didn't replicate the bladder. You
I
just
did
the
not.
exterior.
I just did the exterior.
which
Link
gives-
netting. That's what that term is called when you encase a bladder in a fabric net.
I wonder what it felt like to wear, because it must have been so when the bladder started expanding, it must have been like when they take your blood pressure, but all over your body.
Well, no, it's not. It's not holding on to him. It's actually pushing away from him. And
Yeah, but by pushing away and having the fabric not let it expand, it must push down on him as well.
no,
Use stiff
no,
movements then,
it's still
right?
it's still. So the problem is still that the arm wants to go like this, and that the hardest part about wearing the suit is bending the arm. So he has these metal rings to assist in keeping the volume of the joint constant while bending. He's the first one to make a pressure suit, and he encountered the exact problem. Like Katie Coleman was telling me, when they push that suit out, it's really hard to bend your arms.
Yeah.
Articulation
Arrgh.
is very tough.
Bring
You
it
never
in.
get
yeah.
that in space movies.
No.
It's never like.
Never.
Wow. And then tonight is your panel, and
Oh, right.
we talked about Mythbusters Junior. This is the first time people will potentially see something.
This is the first time we're unveiling. Is this airing before the panel?
After the panel.
After the panel. So this is the first time we're unveiling the six kids
You're
themselves.
Are you showing me the trailer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought
yeah.
we were getting an exclusive. We're just going to see it when everybody else sees it.
No, I'm going to show it to you on my laptop right after this
Okay.
podcast. You'll see it several hours
Just let me
before
see,
anyone
like,
else
oh yeah,
sees it.
okay, I'll take several hours.
It's a couple reveals. There's going to be that, which I know we've all been waiting for to see.
This is the first time I've seen any footage from what we've been filming for the last couple of
Right,
months.
right,
And
right.
that was really exciting because you don't know,
Yeah.
you're making a thing, you don't know how it's going to go until you start seeing the footage, and you're like, oh, this flavor is, and it feels familiar, and yet it's really new, and again, seeing these six kids, I'm so inspired by them every day, and to get to show them to the world and the world to them.
I'm just really stoked, like having visited set a few times. Getting to see footage because I'm just seeing all of you guys working and the kids and stuff like that. It's exciting to see the translation.
And they're just becoming more and more awesome on camera every single day. Like we're just getting more, more genuine awesomeness from them. Yeah.
I know you're still in production for that for a
I'll
couple
be
months.
back. I'll be back the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Monday. I'll be back on Monday.
Wow. The other thing that by the time you listen to this,
Oh,
have
right.
revealed is a tested project, and we can finally talk about it. Back in January when we visited New Zealand, it was a return trip to visit What a Workshop, and this time, in addition to covering some of the things, that the products they make and the movies they've worked on, we were able to do something with them,
Yeah.
collaborate with them. And it's an idea that you came up with I would say not too much far before we left.
Well, the idea was we were going to go to Weta, we're going to cover all the different things that Weta does, and they're great at that. But we already did that. So how do we create a framework in which to show what they do without just rehashing what we did before? So I thought, let's make a short movie.
I'm
They're
just
filmmakers.
scrambling in my head and being like, have I heard about this project or not? Have I
I
heard
don't know
about
if
this
we've
project
I'm not
or
sure
not?
if I told you about this. So I took the suit of armor that I made last summer in Cornwall
Oh, right. The
to
big-
New Zealand.
the big one.
Yes, because the movie that it's from, Excalibur, is super important to both Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor. And I thought, well, let's make the armor. Let me fight a monster. They could make a monster. We could do a prosthetic. We could have some blood effects, some fight choreography. We do some propage and some knife making. And that's exactly what we did. And Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor are in it, and they play themselves, and they're hilarious. It is such a surreal and amazing thing. And Norman, Joey, and I were, directing this thing together in the middle of this public park in the middle of Wellington, where they're like, oh yeah, over there's where Frodo was hiding from the ring wraith in the first shot from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, man.
Well, that list of things that you talked about, having the armor, having a monster, having a fight of some kind, a prosthetic, that's essentially what we left the United States with. A story outline, a few phone calls between them to see if could it be possible.
Yeah.
And when we got there, it was 6 days, 1 week to put it together. And to their credit, they are world-class filmmakers and a special effects house. They were able to work with us. We were sitting in rooms working on a script.
Right on a script. Peter sent Joey to his camera department.
Yeah,
And
pick out a
Joey
camera.
got to go pick the camera that shot the Hobbit.
Go scout a location. It's a little bit of the
Yeah.
things that you would have to do to make a film, and we did one for a film about 2.5 minutes long.
And everyone you're talking to is like our monster was played like every orc in all of the movies, and a guy who the monster kills also played a bunch of orcs and elves and hobbits and background characters. These movies were part of lives of all the people we knew and know in Wellington for the last 20 years. So everyone has amazing stories about it.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy and so sad. I don't know. There's a lot of mixed emotions. Man,
And the whole thing was
that's
documented. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And are you going to release the?
We're showing
Yes.
the film. So
yeah, you're going to show the film.
that's
Yes.
why Richard Taylor is the moderator, because he made this all. He helped us really put this all together and made it happen.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Those are the things we're talking about.
I know. So much is going on.
Where the Weta party is tonight. That's where we get to hang out. The thing is that among the professionals, you end up coming here, and you and your fellow professional friends just sort of whiz by each other between different things.
Yeah.
And that's why the parties are like throwing a party last night and going to the Weta tonight is like how you catch up.
They're social events. They're literally, it's not a place to get hammered. It's a
Yeah.
place to
Yeah.
literally just catch up. It's like the summer camp.
Exactly.
Every year. On the main floor, for people who collect toys or collect collectibles, a bunch of things I want to give shout outs to. Mobius, at the Mobius booth, the company that made the 2001 Discovery
Yeah.
model, they have a new one that is almost twice as long.
It's like 8 feet long.
It's almost 8 feet long.
I so want to
and
build this.
This is apparently only 1/10 the scale of the filming miniature.
Wait, the filming miniature was 80 feet long?
Yes, if you Google 2001 Discovery, I was skeptical. I'm like, are you sure this isn't 1/10 like human scale? There's no way, because
Yeah.
it would be like 1/30th. And I Googled it, and you can see photos of the miniatures from 2001, and Discovery is a warehouse size.
80 feet.
Yeah, it's 60 to
did
80
not
feet.
know that.
Yeah, it
Does it
is.
still count as a miniature then?
Well,
At
so
one point-
Weta coined the term bigature.
Bigature.
For the sets they built for Lord of the Rings was like, it's a miniature city, but it's 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
So it's a bigature.
Yep. Sideshow Collectibles has like over 200 new statues. It's one of those things like I can afford to buy one if I wanted to, but like I go here just to look at them. It's like this is like the sculpture garden for pop culture. Where I was like, that's the most beautiful Wolverine I've seen. And
You
that's-
brought one of my favorite pop culture sculptors to the party last night,
yeah.
Jason Freed.
Jason Freedy, yes. He's here from New York, working with FYE, doing his anatomical sculpts, and
He
got
does
a chance
those, the toys where half the toy, where you can see the skeleton of the
Oh,
toy.
right.
That's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I've been a huge fan for years, so it was great to sit and gush over
Very
his
pretty.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, gosh, this will be in the past for everyone. We're doing an unveil with Magic Wheelchair.
Yes.
And I've caught glimpses, people who followed our friends Tom Spina and Fawn Davis and Mike
I did a
Master on
tiny
Instagram.
contribution to Fawn Davis's ship.
The theme for this year is Star Wars, and they're building half dozen basically Star Wars inspired wheelchairs that are fully decked out.
Yeah.
They are magnificent, what I've seen so far.
It's really cool.
I don't know if I should say any more because
No,
we'll have a
let's
video
keep it
about
as-
it.
yeah, totally.
So you have to watch the video when that comes out.
Right.
But I'm looking for that's like going to be one of the big highlights of
That's so
Comic-Con
cool.
this year.
Do you have a secret plan you're looking to implement while you're here, or you're just along for the ride and looking for some wonderful
I'm
distraction?
very planless.
Good.
I mean, I'm just excited, like having spent 1.5 months at home and
To be out in the
moping
world.
and just being out and feeling some sort of normalcy. Not that Comic-Con is a normalcy, but just I don't know.
Hanging out with your friends.
Hanging out with your friends, yeah. So that's the main plan. I mean, I'm not doing anything in particular.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we don't see you enough in San Francisco. So let's go travel to one of the craziest events in the world and hang out here.
Yeah.
And-
To catch up.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yes, you can stay tuned. We have a ton of videos. Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
If you watch our Comic-Con videos, I am wearing. It's not the exact same shirt. I have two of them, but I am wearing our new T-shirt. It is inspired by Adam your one-day builds.
They always take longer than a day.
That is, yep, and that's like an inside joke for tested viewers out there. So that is on sale now. I'll have a link below in the description. But those are on sale for 2 weeks, made by the same folks who made your Savage Industries shirt.
Yes, Cotton Bureau.
Cotton Bureau. They're
Such-
wonderful.
they're really soft and
Super
awesome.
soft. So go pick that up, and you can wear it while you do your own build.
Absolutely.
Simone, it's so great to see you.
It's
Welcome back.
great to see me too.
We need to do this more often.
Can we get a mirror for
Yes.
Simone?
So it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're gonna head off to more activities.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.